Hello everyone. In this recording I wish to discuss how fast Fallout 4 can be done. I saw somebody asking this question in my friend's Twitch chat, so I decided to investigate. Before I get into that though, I want to first tell you my methods in terms of speedrunning. I have done one speedrun before and I am on the boards for that speedrun. That speedrun was for uh, Mass Effect 1. I completed in 2 hours and 46 minutes. You can see the recording here on my channel if you wish to. As far as that speedrun is concerned, and any speedruns that I have attempted or tried to submit for approval, I always do it without cheating or glitching. My reasoning is this. While you can glitch and cheat to make a game faster, most people do not like to do that. If they are okay with doing it, most people don't really comprehend how to properly glitch. What I mean is this, is a lot of the people you see glitching in speedruns, they spend a lot of time practicing that. Because in some games, it does require a very precise movement or save or something like that. So most people aren't going to get that. So when I speedrun, I do it based on just the normal person. You know, somebody who just goes to the store, picks up the game, and installs it. From there, they play it through. So I'm very honest in that fact that I will not cheat and I will not glitch. And I think that is what separates me from other speedrunners. As far as I've been able to tell, there hasn't been any other speedrunners who follow my practice. But enough of that. Let's talk about this. So I made a ton of mistakes with this particular run, and that's in large part because this was new territory for me. My first file, I did a Minuteman ending. This file, I was trying to do a railroad ending. Despite having a Primus strategy guide, I was not able to figure out the quests as quickly as I'd like to. I made a few wrong turns, or I tried to shortcut the quest, and then I later found out that I couldn't shortcut it. Um, so that's another thing I wish to point out is, even if you have a Primus strategy guide or the internet to work with, um, there really isn't very clear walkthroughs. But regardless of all the mistakes I made, I ended up at 13 hours, 49 minutes, 38 seconds completion time. I'm thinking I probably could have saved about 4 hours just based on the mistakes that I made and other things that happened. So let me show you my route and how I did this. So in terms of normal walking, not following any particular quest lines, the path I took was from Sanctuary, I went to Museum of Freedom, Drumlin Diner, down to Lexington, down to Cambridge Police Station, then down here to Cambridge Polymer Labs and the CIT ruins over here, and then I doubled back to Diamond City. From Diamond City, I went to Vault 114, and then from there, I went all the way up to the Old North Church. From the Old North Church, I went to Bunker Hill and circled back around to Ticonderoga, and that's how I did that path. Now, it's probably not the most efficient pathing, but it is nonetheless the path I took. Um, the other thing, too, that I would like to point out with all of this is I think that if you're going to be doing like a real speed run, you're going to have to do Institute quests because Minutemen quests are long, um, but the railroad questing, I would say, is almost as long. At least that's the way it feels to me. So the reason for that is because when you do the railroad quest, you also have to do some of the Institute quests. So you're running two different quest lines at the same time. Um, So that's actually where a lot of my confusion came from, is because I wasn't sure which quests were what and what had to be said and that kind of thing. Um, so yes. In terms of my perks, I'll show you what I did. I did do it differently than um, the survival build that I put a recording up for, and that is because my survival build was built around the long run, like getting through the game all the way up to like level 40. As for this, I knew that I was not going to reach high level, so I reached level 24 at the end, and I used those points on 3 toughness, 3 riflemen, 2 medic, 2 gun nut, 2 armor, 1 bloody mess, 3 locksmith, and 2 demolition experts. Um, so that was kind of how I handled that. Um, I will say that this build was effective, but the game was still hard. This was on hard difficulty when I started. The issue with running so fast is I wasn't really high enough level to compensate for all the damage uh, taken. Um, what I mean is that not only did I not have enough perks to work with through most of the game, but on top of that, I didn't really have the items I needed. I was using leather armor, I want to say, for 90% of this playthrough. I didn't switch over to the synth armor until the very end of the Institute quests. So that was a long time to get that. As far as weapons, I did use the minigun some, but I used mostly a double barrel shotgun, frag mines and grenades, bottle cap mines as well. My trusty pipe rifle, I did the exact same thing with the other file. I did something different though. I did use a laser rifle, but that was only because I was low on ammo throughout most of the game. So I used this when fighting the Institute or weaker Brotherhood of Steel enemies. And another change I made was using the railway rifle. This is a reward you get for doing the railroad faction quests. This thing is very hard to hit with, but it does quite a bit of damage. And on top of that, you can get the ammo back sometimes. So I've learned that that's actually a really cool weapon. Um, but it's pretty hard to use. Um, Molotov cocktails, of course, my 10mm pistol, and then finally a combat rifle. I had this plasma rifle in my inventory the whole game, but I never used it. So, but yeah, that's basically what I did. I'd be interested to see if somebody can do a faster time than I was able to accomplish while doing it legit. So I'll end this recording by showing you my notes in terms of the times and the um, other uh, route notes and specials that I made. Here you go. Oops. I have to fit that to screen. There we go. So there you go. There's all my notes. You can see that I was very careful um, in terms of using a stopwatch on my phone. Um, I wrote down the times every time I started and stopped. So you can see even in the notes that I put some sort of writing there to let me know that I stopped for this reason or stopped for the day, and things of that nature. And you can also see my map route there. Um, you can see I messed up on the first one towards the top, but I did change it with the second one, and I sort of followed that. You can see that my phone does cover up the special calculations that I made, and also the perks needed to improve armor and weapons. Um, Seeing as you can't see those, I'll go ahead and um, read that to you. So I made note that in order to prove leather armor, I needed rank 1 armor. For metal armor, I needed rank 2. And for combat armor, which I never got, was rank 2. For the dense armor upgrade, I needed rank 3. That's the one that gives you increased defense versus explosive damage. For the combat rifle and combat shotgun, I needed ranks 2 to 3 um, in gun nut. For the special, I calculated to 6 strength, 4 perception, 7 endurance, 3 charisma, 4 intelligence, 1 agility, and 3 luck. I got the bobblehead for perception to put me at 5 for demolition expert, which was found in the Museum of Freedom. And then I used the um, special book, which you find in the baby room of your old house, to increase my strength to 7. So there you have it. I hope that answers your question. Um, Thanks for listening, everybody.